everyone, welcome back to the Undercut. Today we're going to be discussing in this podcast our top 3 most memorable moments from the F1 2024 season. The season has been full of highs and lows, but today we're going to discuss our personal top 3 most memorable moments from the season. So let's just kick it off straight away. Top 3, third place. What is your third place, Mr. Jack?
Now, this is a bit more like I like Ferrari. I like Charles.
Yes, you do.
And I was just really happy when he won in Monaco.
Is that your third place?
That's my
Charles's
third
win.
Seeing Charles win in Monaco, for the heartache that he's been through in Monaco over all these years.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing that raw. Like, every year it was something went wrong. His gearbox went wrong. He can't start a race. Something was going wrong. And then just for him to be able to win that race, comfortable race, converted the pole to the win. Oh, it was just something.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant moment. I almost actually had that on my list, but I haven't been able to put it in because my third most memorable moment is Oliver Behrman's step up at Ferrari in Saudi Arabia. So also Ferrari related, but I just think, yeah, for such a high pressure situation for a kid, I mean, he's 4 years younger than us. That's how old we're getting on now. To come in and get in that Ferrari and put in a performance like that, you know, on short notice, one practice session, it was unbelievable. And I'm really happy for the lad. And that is almost certainly what's got him the seat at Haas.
Yeah.
But that, incredible moment for the kid. And, you know, a flurry of British talent coming through the ranks.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
nice.
British bias. It's not British bias. We'll see, because my second is definitely not British bias. So all you guys can shut up who say British bias. Anyway, let's move on. What's your second most memorable moment from the 2024 season?
It's similar to that. But it's not Oliver Behrman. It's Colapinto.
Okay.
And I just like the fact that he came in and you didn't really know what you were going to get.
No.
It was quite a shock. And the way that he came in, the way that he challenged Albon, the way that he just shocked pretty much the F1 world with how good that he was, how quick that he was. You saw how, like, even in Brazil, we were in Brazil and the fans were just chanting for Colapinto because he's Argentinian, South African. It was amazing to see and how good that he's done in this second half of the year. It transformed Williams in a way from Logan Sargent and made them look like they've got 2 drivers here. You've got to worry.
Yeah.
It was just really good to see.
Yeah, Franco Colapinto has been one of the surprises of the season, definitely.
Yeah.
I did think about him when making my list. I couldn't really put my finger on one moment where I was sort of really surprised over maybe Behrman or even Charles's win in Monaco or Monza, but Colapinto as a whole, when the races that he has done, you know,
that's the thing. Colapinto as a whole for me, because I think the surprise was when he first came in Monza, we were like, we don't know anything about this guy. He wasn't one of the ones where you thought he's going to come into Williams. We didn't think that. We thought maybe Mick. We thought maybe someone leading the F2 season.
Well,
Antonelli.
at the time, it was Antonelli, wasn't it? That was the number one sort of
No
driver.
one even thought put Colapinto in there.
No.
And I think that's what surprised me, was the fact that we didn't even think about Colapinto. He wasn't even a thought, and he came in and just tore it up, essentially.
Yeah.
That's the surprise that got me.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. And Colapinto is, you know, proven that he deserves a seat in F1, and whether he goes to a team in the future, whoever that may be, maybe it is Williams, you know, maybe it's, I don't know, an Alpine. Or
maybe something is being cooked up.
Yeah, maybe something's being cooked. I mean, just wait for our predictions, and we'll see. My second most memorable moment is Max Verstappen's win in Brazil. I mean, just incredible. One of the best drives you're ever going to see ever from any F1 driver. And certainly I would not be surprised come the end of Max Verstappen's career if that is considered his best win. It was the nail in the coffin for the World Drivers' Championship this year.
Is that Max's best win?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any other. I mean, the only one I'd say that would rival it probably would be his debut win with Red Bull in Spain. You know, being thrown into that car and winning in the first race. But I think that's got to be Max's best ever win. Surely he was just in a completely different league.
It's got to be one of them. I think that would be quite an interesting video to go through.
It would be actually, yeah. But you know, it was unbelievable. I mean, just I can't stress how much that win was just, it was unbelievable. And I know people tend to maybe look over it slightly because a lot of people wanted to see a different winner of the championship, and a lot of people were fixated on the idea of it being Lando. But in years to come, we will look back and I think appreciate that win more than we do now.
Yeah.
And so and I think that's why it's up there for me. It was an incredible win from Max. And also, not to mention as well, if we are on the topic of Brazil, I'll lump in the Alpines there as well. Like, just I think you know, maybe a good
mention there.
Maybe second on my list is just Brazil as a whole. I don't know, because the Alpines did a madness as well. But yeah, Max's win was great. What's your number one spot? I have a feeling we might have the same number one.
Potentially,
I've got a feeling we might have the same number one.
I don't care if I get called bias here. Sod you lot.
Yeah.
It's Lewis Hamilton's win at Silverstone, isn't it?
For me, it's Lewis Hamilton's win at Silverstone. It has to be.
It has to be. If you are a fan of Formula One, of Lewis Hamilton, of Britain, of anything, like, you can appreciate the sentimentality, the brilliance, the execution, the race, the track, the everything, the records. It all just came together for him to win in Silverstone again last season with Mercedes. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's like the cards aligned this season, didn't they? We had Charles winning in Monaco and Monza. We had Lando beat his championship rival on home soil in Zandvoort. Like, the storylines, and then we had Lewis Hamilton win the British Grand Prix, his first win in 3 years since 2021 Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
and he did it at the British Grand Prix in his last year with Mercedes, and it was incredible. So yeah, that race I think goes well. It isn't the best drive from Lewis Hamilton.
No.
It's not even one of the best ever. But for me, the sentimentality, yeah, I mean, for me, that is one of my favourite races of all time now because of what it meant for not just Hamilton, but his fans.
Yeah.
Which is us, obviously. And, we try and keep it as unbiased as possible on this podcast. And I think we do a pretty good job of it. Usually. But when it comes to our personal moments, I think that has got to be our number one.
Yeah.
For both of us.
It has to be. It really does have to be. I mean, another moment for me, for this is just a sidetrack one here.
Is it an honourable mention?
Well, it's not really an honourable mention, but I think for me, in a weird way, as a season as a whole was made this season good, was the crash in Austria between Max and Lando.
Okay. That's really weird. You put a crash as one of them. Why?
Because when they two came together, that's when I fully got the feeling. Like, obviously, there was glimpses before that, but that's when I fully got the feeling. Okay, here we go. We're fighting Max now.
Yeah.
This is it. This season's gonna go off. We got fighting with Max. He's not running away. Lando's there. He's getting his elbows out. If that Red Bull drops, we could get Ferrari up there. We could get Mercedes up there. We could see Lewis and Max, as we saw in Hungary.
Yeah. Was that the moment that you kind of felt like the pot had boiled and Lando? It was time for Red Bull to be fought by.
That was when the season was it started off flat. Yeah. A Coke had been left out for 3 days.
Oh, awful. And it's warm. Yeah.
Dreadful. Warm.
Oh,
then Lando won in Miami.
Yeah. Glimpses.
The fizz was coming back.
Ooh.
The fizz was coming back. And then Austria, the sparkler was lit, everything was going off, we're going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when it all came in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
And
Fair enough.
I was in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Austria probably was the beginning of that. So I guess an honourable mention for Austria.
It's weird to have a crash in it, but it opened the season up.
It did, and hopefully we get more of that this upcoming season. But anyway, let us know your most memorable moments in the comments below for the 2024 season. Hopefully we get more of them next season, and we'll see you next time.